The painting and lining of this Garrett Loco was going to be fairly difficult anyway due to its small size. So in order to keep it simple, I decided to model Garrett number 87, which I have photos of, and it's finished in black with silver boiler bands and unlined tenders, and I thought this would be the easiest option for me to try. To this end, I ordered some Fox transfers containing the silver lining strips. These could be used over the raised boiler bands to create the silver lined effect that I needed. At the same time, I ordered a set of decals for the South African Railway, which were the type needed for this Loco. I spent some time deciding what colours to use on the Loco, and after some testing I decided to paint the main body with a spray can using satin black. The other parts of the Loco I eventually chose a dirty black paint, and this was used on the smoke box and the footplate and other fittings. The black colour came from my collection of life colour authentic railway paints. Once the satin black paint had dried on the Loco, I was then able to remove the masking tape and the other protective papers I'd used, and then get the body ready to start the detail painting. So once we have removed all the protective tape, we've hopefully got now a nice clean Loco body ready to paint. So first of all, we can use the black colour to paint the footplate and smoke box areas, which will then provide a base to add in the finer detail later. So to save time, we will now fast forward to the next section where the painting has been done and we're ready to start the detailing. As you can now see, the painting has been started using copper and bronze for the pipeworks and silver for the handrails, and the inside of the cab is painted a light cream colour. The silver transfers have to be put on in sections around the boiler because there's no clearance due to the pipework there that would allow them to be applied in one continuous band. The main Loco body has now been finished regarding painting and lining, so the only other thing I have to add at the moment is the firebox door and control panel assembly, which I have been painting at the same time as I did the body. This is simply fixed in place with some super glue. That completes the body assembly for the time being, although there are still more details to do, such as the painting of the ash box, and the roof will be glued in place once I've found a suitable groove to fit inside the Loco cab. I've painted the cylinder head silver to match how they are shown in the prototype photographs, and I'm also hoping to cut down the lining strips so that I will be able to recreate the finer lining, which again is applied round the cylinder blocks on the prototype. As you can see, the finer lining has now been applied to the cylinder blocks, so the final job now is just to start filling the tender up with coal. So now, with most of the painting and lining being done, there are just a few steps to finish off the Loco. First of all, I put a metallic edging around the window frames using a metallic marker pen, and then inserted glazing in the windows with pre-cut pieces of perspex. I had also picked out and pre-painted a suitable crew from the Model U range. I'd also obtained the correct works plates from the Light Railway Company. And a friend had very kindly made a 3D print for me of the headlamps, which are fitted to this particular Loco but are not included in the general Garrett kit. So there we have it, the completed Loco with the work plates fitted, the crew installed inside, and then the headlamps added to the front and rear tender units. There's just the roof to secure in place now, and then we're ready to give it a test. Although I run my layout on DCC, I'm going to continue running this Loco on DC without the chips installed until I'm sure that it's ready to go digital. Although it did perform very well on the test track, so I don't think there should be too many problems. The biggest difficulty in building this kit has been the lack of help from the supplier. I originally received damaged parts in the post, which was solely down to poor packing. When I asked for replacements, I was advised to glue the parts back together, as that would do the trick. I did eventually get a promise of replacement parts, but that was 6 months ago and I've not heard anything since. This has now been made all the more obvious because I've since used other resin kits from different suppliers, and they've been securely and properly packed, together with a promise to replace anything immediately that may have got damaged in the post.